Hello, YouTube. Uh, Sorry, I tried to record this once before. Just got off work. However, the goose was like right here, and it was wrecking my whole day. Roasters Jr. versus a Richie Lang, or a Richie Long, however did you say it. I thought Rosas did okay. I don't, as much as I like that kid, I really think he's got a fighter spirit. I think he shows up to fight, and he'll fight anybody. That's what I believe. I could be wrong. Didn't see what I wanted to see from him. They kind of lobbed one in there for him, and he still didn't perform the way that I felt like he should have performed. Um, that being said, I mean, he did win, right? So, to me, as of right now, as much as I do love Rosas Jr., I love his fire, I love his energy. To me, he's got a lot of work to do. Again, that's just me talking. Sorry, the sun's coming up. I'm trying to do this before I go to bed. So, again, mid performance. I don't think he's a world beater, or at least out right now. His striking needs a lot of work. Edgar Shayrez versus Joshua Van. So when I first saw this fight, I thought this is clearly fight of the night, right? Like there's not even going to be a competitive second. How wrong I was. Edgar Shayrez came out looking good. Great low kicks, great like literal 1-2 straight down the pipe. He was tuning Joshua Van up. I don't know if y'all watched my predictions video or not, but I thought, well, Joshua Van is a slow starter, and I don't know if he can out tough guy Edgar Shayrez. Which, to be fair, that fight could have went either way. Now, I had Joshua Van win, and although that second round, I'm not sure if I was the only one who saw this or not, but after Joshua Van stung him, I mean, he was like ripping the body and really hurting him. And Edgar Shayrez had his like hand on the cage and like grab it, and then swung some sort of spinning back fist, spinning back elbow. I think it kind of turned out as a spinning back forearm. But either way, Joshua Van got it done. I'm not going to lie to y'all, though. I'm about tired of watching. You know, I do watch the MMA Guru. I think he's the best in the business. Just being honest with you. I don't have the same dedication and, you know, oh, well, I can name every fighter out of 770 fighters or however many they have and tell you their last 13 fights and where they came from. What gym they train at. I don't have that. But I'm not going to say my mind or my opinion is like wavered in some way toward either way, but I'm about tired of listening to other people. I'm not saying that they're not right. Everybody probably did better on this card than I did. But sometimes you got to trust your gut. So that being said, I really like Joshua Van. And even though I picked Edgar Shayrez to win, I wanted Joshua Van to win. I really like that kid. He is just game. He's cool. I like everything about him. And I'm happy he won. If they would have gave it to Shayrez, the second round is the only real question. And, you know, Shayrez grabbing onto the fence like that, or at least that's what I saw, right? Y'all might look at it and think something totally different. But it looked like after Joshua Van stung him, he's like hanging on to the fence and throws that spinning back thing and changes the whole tempo of the fight. Regardless, if they would have got fight of the night, I wouldn't have been mad. I don't think they got it. There's one coming up that I feel should have it. Yasmin Harigwe versus Ketlin Souza. Quick disclaimer, guys. These names are hard to say for somebody like me. I didn't grow up in Southern California or South Texas or New York. I mean, this isn't these letters together aren't something that comes out of my mouth very often. So please excuse me if I mispronounce their name. However, I do know who they are. I do know their a little bit of their body of work. Right? Again, I'm not a guru or an expert at this by any stretch of the imagination. I thought Yasmin Uregwe was a better fighter through and through. Souza throws not wild punches, but looping punches. She clearly knows what she's doing. When she throws them, she clearly knows what's going on. I thought the technique would prevail today. However, it did not. Yasmin hit her with a heavy right and then dropped her with a heavy left hook and sat her down. And instead of going for the ground and pound, which I have mixed feelings about this, right? Sometimes, I'll get to another example of this. I guess you have to know who you're fighting or know your skill set or genuinely know when someone is like unconscious and just easy to take. Souza hit her with a heavy left hand, sat her straight down. Didn't go for the ground and pound. She went straight, locked the choke. She didn't like just grab one arm and kind of hope for the best when she fell backwards. She grabbed it, sunk it in tight, and ended up choking her, which, again, I'd have bet the farm that wouldn't have happened. Yeah, outstanding performance by Ketlin Souza. That one set me back. So my parlay went all to pieces. That was one. I wouldn't say it's the first one. I thought Edgar Shayrez was going to take it. And to be fair, I feel like he had an opportunity to do that. So I'll take the loss on that, but it kind of went the way I thought it would. I just didn't think Joshua Vane coming in on short notice without a tough guy. Manel Torres versus Ignacio Bahamondes. I genuinely thought that Torres, and he still might. I genuinely think, if they fight that fight 10 times, 8 times, Torres will win it. Dude, this looked like a bar fight. He's just running at him, throwing punches against a guy who's taller, longer, and has better timing than you. What's the worst that could happen? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it was bad, man. It was bad. Ignacio Bahamondes embarrassed Torres out there as far as I'm concerned. Torres, if he would have had a 2 on a fight IQ, he would have won. He had a 0. And it shows. Got hit with the same shot twice within 3 minutes? I have no excuses. I thought Torres was more dangerous. I thought he was a better fighter. As far as lethality goes, like, I can finish it now. Although, Bahamondes he has great kicks. He has great timing. He has, like, no fear. Like, he never looks afraid. No matter what's going on, he never looks like he's nervous or afraid or anything like that. So I lost that one too. I lost, actually, 3 in a row. Doesn't look good for my next YouTube thumbnail. Norma Dumont versus Irene Aldana. I called it, boys. Called it. Norma Dumont is a winner. She knew what she had to do. She was going against a person, a lady, who is a legit boxer, right? Hands high, her defense is always good. How do you defeat that, right? You constantly move backwards, push her into moving forward, hit a low kick, bang, bang, 1-2. And Norma Dumont absolutely wrecked that lady. Absolutely wrecked that lady. I know it looked a lot more dominant than it probably was because of the headbutt. That cut down her head right here, wow. Yeah. Wrecked her, dude. But Irene Aldana, I will give her this. She went 5 rounds with Nunes. She went 3 rounds with Norma Dumont. That lady can take an ass whipping like nobody I've ever seen. Like, she took a good one and never took a step backwards. I don't think she stepped backwards one time. However, Norma Dumont's fine ass, she's a winner, man. She's got that in her. You could tell when she won, you know, that roar, like, I had a game plan, G did it, and I implemented it. And she did a great job. So, hats off to Norma Dumont. Ronaldo Rodriguez versus O'Day Osborne. I took O'Day Osborne in this fight because I thought he had the fast twitch muscle, the clean, crisp strikes straight down the middle, and to be fair, he was close to winning. The first round, Ronaldo, he doesn't throw like a normal leg kick. If you watch his leg kicks, he's throwing it like I'm about to kick a ball off a tee in the NFL. Like, his whole leg whips back, knee bent completely backwards. I'm sure they would be effective if they landed. However, I was watching Zellhuber and Robovic's fight, and the speed. Hey! Decoy, come here. Oh, sorry. I'm recording my post-fight video.
You already did that.
No, I didn't, Bird. I'm doing it now. But this will be a wonderful interruption. You want to say hi to the camera?
I don't, but you did this.
I did my predictions. This is the post-fight, after the fight happened.
Oh, now you're doing post-fight?
Yeah. I'm trying to get a pretty background. Do you want to show her? You want to say hi?
No, I don't.
You look good.
Are you doing live?
Yeah. Well, I know I'm recording a video, but I can't stop it and start it.
Yeah, you can.
Well,
You
maybe.
have to edit it.
Well, I'm using a cell phone and I have a laptop in there, so obviously I'm not real savvy on the.
Do this on your phone. Anyway.
You're really kind of.
Did you feed the cat this morning?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
She was acting like she hasn't ate yet.
I just gave her one of them little cat food things.
No, either Bells or anything. But she was.
The dogs have been outside with me, Bird.
I just let Bells out.
Well, Bells didn't eat. She was out here 10 seconds ago. Okay. Moving on. She's super fine, by the way. Birdie, at least come say hi.
No, and you didn't set my fishing pole down.
She's mad because I left her fishing poles in my truck. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. Ronaldo versus Osborne. To be fair, Osborne smoked that dude in the first round. I've heard from some guys at work that they thought O'Day won. I don't see that. I don't see that at all. As much as I wanted him to win, because obviously I went out in front of the entire world, not that 100 people saw it, but I wanted him to do it, and he did a pretty good job. However, Ronaldo Rodriguez, I wanted to hate that dude because he looks like that guy you would hate. You know, he's got the mouth of like a villain in a comic book. Do you know what I mean? His mouth, like his eyes, everything about him is just like terrifying and scary and aggressive. I really have come to like that guy. I like his aura. I like, what he talks about. He fights for the other Mexicans who fight and work 12 hours a day, 7 days a week for 10 years. You really can't help but like this guy. So I'm happy he won. I'm actually happy I lost, but, everybody was calling me crazy for picking O'Day. And at the end of that first round, what's that now? What's that? But at the end of the day, they were right. And again, I've never claimed to be a smart man. Daniel Zellhuber versus Esteban Ribovics, or whatever his name is. Ribovics, whatever. When I watched, full disclosure, I forgot that dude's name on my prediction video. I forgot it. I didn't write it down. You know, again, I do everything. I'm old school, man. I do everything right here. I have a laptop in there. It's like $2,000. I have no idea how to use it. But Zell Huber is tough as shit. Son, I'm telling you, that man is tough. But Esteban Ribovics, it seems like nothing that Zell Huber hit him with. I mean, it stung him, but it never really hurt him. You know, that the second and third round when Zell Huber's like rope-a-doping against the cage, you know, and he'd come back and he'd hit him with a heavy right or a heavy left or whatever. The difference was is Zell Huber was like walking crazy and rope-a-doping, and Ribovics was like right back in it, you know. And I was genuinely impressed with Ribovics or Ribovich, however it is you say it. I want to see sometime within the next year, maybe a year and a half, I want to see him versus Rafael Fiziev. I think that would just be insane. Because Zell Huber, his boxing is outstanding. His chin, he's tough, he's a gamer. Zell Huber lost no fans tonight. That, in my opinion, was fight of the night. Zell Huber and Ribovics. That's my personal opinion. I think that's fight of the night. Neither one of them boys lost any fans. Both of them gained. It's kind of like Ortega and Ige, right? When them two threw down, there wasn't a loser in there. Both them boys showed up and was like, yeah, shit on it, I'll fight. Let's do it. So, outstanding job to both of them. My opinion, fight of the night. Rafael Fiziev, if you hear this ever, which I doubt you ever will, I'm a bloody nobody, maybe Ribovics. Let him get one more good one. And why don't you give that stud a chance? I know I would buy that pay-per-view. If that was the main card, I would buy it. I don't give two craps about what happened the fight before. That being said, I caught myself multiple times tonight saying this is the greatest fight card I've ever seen. Now, the Sphere, was it worth $20 million? Honestly, probably. Like, I don't care about stuff like that. In my personal opinion, I wish they would just run the fights first to last and be done in an hour and a half. That's what I wish. I understand they have to have commercials and all that other stuff, but they did a really good job tonight of really like using the Sphere and showing what it can do and really like sinking that Mexican pride in. And, you know, I know a lot of people don't like African pride or Mexican pride or, you know, whatever. And I understand that, right? You know, if it doesn't affect you, I'm not saying I agree with it, but I can understand why you're not interested in it. But they did such a good job tonight of showing that Mexican fighting spirit. But what made this card was actually the Mexican fighting spirit. Do you know what I'm saying? Every single fight tonight, I'm looking at them now. Just let me go through. Rosas, Shayrez, Souza, Torres, Dumont, Ronaldo Rodriguez, Daniel Zell Huber. Then we get to Diego Lopez and Brian Ortega. Not a fight of the night contestant, but good God, dude. Brian Ortega might be the toughest mofo I've ever seen in my life. And freaking Diego Lopez is the gamest dude ever. The very first round, which we're moving on to that fight, by the way. The very first round, Lopez sits him down with a heavy combo. Clearly, Brian Ortega is stunned. And instead of letting him stand up and try to finish it on the feet, He goes to the ground with him. Ortega throws up like 2 triangles and all this stuff, and Diego's just wailing away. I get he's trying to finish the fight, but Brian Ortega does not get finished that way. Do you know what I'm saying? He just don't. And I watched Lopez in the second round. I'm not saying he took it as like a takeoff round or kind of like I'm just let it ride and catch my breath. I'm not saying he did that, but that's what it seemed like to me. And I think he hurt Ortega enough, which Ortega was in this fight the entire time. You know, crisp combos. He's always a threat on a takedown. His chin is literally made of titanium. Like, you cannot break this man. And then the third round, they got at it again. And just to watch that fighting spirit, like legit. And again, I don't work for effing Disney, or dude, I'm not that guy, right? I'm not an activist by any stretch of the imagination. But I think the fighters they picked and the fights they made, those fighters delivered tonight to really show that like Mexican fighting spirit, because not one person gave up until, and I'm not saying she gave up, but Grasso tonight was manhandled against Shevchenko. I know she beat her the first fight. They had to draw the second fight, whatever. And if you really think about it, as far as my math goes, Shevchenko was whooping that woman the entire fight, like 4 rounds, 4 or 5 rounds, I can't remember. She threw a spinning back kick. Shevchenko or Grasso grabbed her, choked her. She was purple. Bang, done. Right. The line's been slain. The second fight, I thought Valentina was winning again, and then she got Grasso got a 10-8 round because she took her down, threw a couple elbows. Come on, man. I think Shevchenko went out there tonight and was like, listen, man, you caught me sleeping once. You kind of didn't rob me of the second one, but you might have had a little bit of favoritism in the second one. I'm not playing these games with you tonight. I'm not. I'm going to walk out there and show you who Mama is. And I think that's what she did. And there's no way they're having a fourth one. Grasso barely won the first one. Arguably drew the second one. Tonight, Valentina was like, okay, we ain't having a fourth fight. You don't deserve a single second of a fourth fight. And she don't. And I'm not saying Grasso quit or she's not a great fighter, but she's not Valentina. She's not. That boxing stuff, ask Irina Aldana how good that boxing does. And I mean, Grasso did do a good job of threatening submissions, especially on her back. At the first 2 or 3 rounds, she was constantly threatening a submission. And I want to say it was a 4th round, maybe. She had a guillotine, and you could just see she wasn't even pulling on it. And Valentina's head was never turning red. It was never turning purple. She was just hoping and praying like, hey, hopefully I can hold on to this all round, as they'll give me a 10-8. Maybe I can do it again the next round. Valentina, after that first armbar, where Valentina was just sitting there and just went and like threw her down, the physical aspect of those two women are not even comparable. Competitive, however you want to say it. It's not even close. Valentina Shevchenko walked the dog on her tonight in a absolutely clear and concise victory. O'Malley versus Merab. I thought this fight would go just like the Aljo fight went. I thought Merab would struggle on 1 or 2 takedowns and, do what he always does, just constantly shoot and shoot and shoot. That's not what he did. A lot of people are going to give him a lot of shit because he's doing like this weird movement thing, constantly running sideways, running back and forth. What do you do against a striker, right? Especially one of the caliber of Sean O'Malley. You do that until you start to make his coaches say, hey, man, you got to go get this guy. Then he shoots, grabs you. You have no takedown defense against it. Merab grabs him, takes him down, and just body locks him. And O'Malley can't do anything. It's almost like he had a grizzly bear on his back. I wouldn't say it was an exciting fight, but put yourself in Merab's shoes. You know, you can either go out there and throw an exciting fight against one of the greatest strikers, in my personal opinion, in the UFC today, and lose and start all the way back over, or do what you need to do to win, and now you make $1 million a fight. And you have the belt. You're a UFC champion. There's like, what, 100 people ever? Not even 100 probably, since the dawn of time, who's a UFC champion in any weight class. And you just beat essentially the Conor McGregor of, you know, the last generation. So hats off to Merab. I hate the fight went that way. I don't know who Merab will fight next. I'll make a video on who I think everybody should fight next. But a lot of people are saying Umar, and I understand that, right? Umar did just beat Corey Sandhagen, but I think Figgy deserves it. Me personally, I know a lot of people don't. A lot of people think, well, Umar is clearly the greatest fighter. He just smoked Corey Sandhagen. Well, you know, Figgy ain't no slouch either. And he didn't just come in. He's done this across 2 weight classes. He just clears them out. So, you know, it's up to Merab or Dana or whoever the hell it is it's up to. But, yeah. That's my quick breakdown of the fight. Sometime this week, obviously I work all week and I work nights. So I work 7 to 7. So probably be odd times that they're posted, but I will post one on who I think everyone should fight next on the entire card. Right? I know not everybody's relevant. And I know sometimes I don't get the names right and all that stuff, but I am a fan, man. I watch every single Saturday. I watch all the news on it. I watch a bunch of different YouTube channels. All of them are good. I'm not that guy who's going to bash another YouTube channel or try to start a beef or anything like that. Again, I've got a great job. I don't need to do this. I do this only because I genuinely enjoy it. Yeah, once again, questions, comments. I would tell you to like and subscribe, but to be honest with you, I don't care. I know that sounds shitty or snobby, but I have a good job. I don't need you around, right? If you want to listen and there's one person who's like, dude, I hope you keep doing this forever, I'll do it forever. That's my take. I hope to hear from y'all soon. Hopefully one day somebody will start engaging in the comments and we can talk MMA, which is really all I like to do in my free time. But y'all enjoy your night. Well, day, I should say. And I hope I see y'all again.